Hey, welcome back to Enigmatica 2, where in the last video, we finally managed to get these draconium seeds after doing quite a lot of astral sorcery. But now I should be done with the magic mods. Astral sorcery should have been the last one, and I've done basically all of it. While we're here on astral sorcery, there was something I kinda missed a bit last time, being this thing, the perk tree. I've had a chance to kind of look through it on my own. Previously, I was attuned to Vicio. That's where I was getting the XP from moving around. And Vicio is just a load of movement speed and things. And that's nice and all, but I honestly don't like having massively increased movement speed. The way it messes with the FOV is just not great. So instead, I've respec'd into Avitas so that I just get a ton of health. And also mending, which, if I'm being honest, that was kind of the main reason I switched to Avitas. So, now I've got a lot of health. Anyway, enough preamble. On to the main point of this video. So, I've been basically gearing up for Draconic Evolution this whole time, which is going to be a pretty big thing, and very, very hard. And I just want to finish off everything I have left before I get into that. So I want to finish off Environmental Tech, get this Void Miner to tier 5. I'm also going to try and get the Resource Miner, and to account for that, I'm going to have to upgrade the solar panels, and then maybe try and get the Flux Network to move all the power around. But also then I need Combination Crafting, and that needs Elite Crafting, and that's a whole deal. Maybe I don't do this. How hard is the Draconic Energy Crystals? Not that bad. Maybe I end up switching to these. Anyway, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. The main plan here, finish Environmental Tech. And the main limiting factor of me upgrading was that I didn't have Nether Stars, but that's not a problem anymore. So let's see how this goes. I'm gonna need to make some patterns for all of this. Tier 5 structure frames. You need 1 Nether Star each, 2 Ironite, and Prismarine. Interesting. I don't have any Prismarine. It's probably easiest for me to use the Atomic Reconstructor, because the alternative is the Civ, and that is not very common. Let me see. Oh, that uses a lot of power. Okay, I'm going to move this then. Just for now, so that I can get the Prismarine shards a bit quicker. But before I commit, I'm just going to see how much of this I need. I'm going to make the Resource Miner at the same time as the Tier 5 Void Miner. They're both exactly the same structure, and I need 72 structure frames. So for the 2 structures, that's 144. I need 95 more Prismarine, and a lot more black concrete. Okay, now I should have enough to make these frames. I'm just gonna need to steal these. Oh, they're Osglow Glass. I haven't had to upgrade my harvest level in a while. Osglow Glass isn't terribly hard, but I can just skip tiers here. If I wanted, I could just go straight to Supremium. Yeah, sure. If I just do it on a sharpening kit, it shouldn't change the repair material. And even if it does, Supremium's not that bad to get. Yeah, there we go. Now I should be able to break basically everything, although I've been able to do that for a while. Okay, so 144 tier 5 structure frames. That might take a while, just for the block of tin alone. So then, what else do I need? Am I missing any structure panels? No. Seems like it loses some even. Yeah, and it's not even that it gets replaced by the modifiers. It only gets 4 more modifiers, but loses 20 structure panels. I do need 1 extra laser core though, so that'll be 7 total given the resource miner as well. And then another 20 null modifiers. That's fairly easy. And I just need another 16 structure panels to make up for what I need for the resource miner. And then last, I need to make the controllers. Although I need this iridium neutron reflector? Okay. That's not that bad. Just need a lot of pulverized coal, tin, and copper. Okay, so I can get most of what I need here. Now I just need 2 of these iridium reinforced plates. So that's iridium advanced alloy and a diamond. It's not too bad. Just 8 advanced alloy. There we go. And there's the 2 iridium neutron deflectors. And now I just need the ironite bricks, or blocks rather, Oof, I barely have enough for all 12. And then when I'm ready, I can convert the ore miner controller into tier 5. Now to just get the resource miner going. And so I need to go all the way back to a tier 1. Oh, and I need to make another diode. All I'm really missing is an empowered void crystal block. So then there's the diode to get the tier 1 void miner, or resource miner. Then I can upgrade to a tier 2, and a tier 3, and a tier 4, and finally the tier 5. Then I may as well grab the void miner because it is not doing anything right now, and upgrade that to tier 5 as well. And so, that should be all I need. Although I've just had a thought. Yeah. Forgot to trigger the resource miner quests along the way. Ah well. So I'm just going to disassemble this for the final time. And actually, I have an idea. I want to move this over by 1. And then of course the usual drop down the floor by 1 block. And of course, because I've moved this over by 1, I'm going to have to fix up the item conduit. But I should be fine to just build this out. Yes. And now, because I've moved it over by 1, it doesn't clip through the wall. Right. Now to just do the same thing over here with the resource miner. Oh, but before I do, I've got to connect the power back so that this actually runs. Okay, I've got most of this prepared. I just now need to dig a giant hole down to bedrock again. And now I can just build this out exactly the same way as before. Maybe with a little bit of manual cleanup. There we go. Also, this drains so much less power than the ore miner. Jeez. The ore miner costs 20,000 FE per tick. The resource miner is only 200. Huh. Okay then. And then the last thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to replace all of the walls down here with black concrete and just try and complete this aesthetic. There we go. Ooh, this instantly looks so much cooler when I don't have the dirt background to everything. Also, is it just me, or does the black concrete look slightly blue? It might not be coming across in the video. Maybe it's just from the blue surrounding it? I don't know. Either way, I think it looks cool. And then how does it look from the outside? Very nice. That's almost what I had in mind from the very beginning. A structure built on top of 2 different void miners. That works surprisingly well. I am very happy with that. So now I just need to connect the resource miner to power, and then connect the items into the drawers, although it's not... Oh, that's a lot of items already. It's not going to do anything yet because I don't have any drawers that can hold them. How much do I even get out of a resource miner? 9 pages of things. Okay. 41 items. Okay. I need a lot more drawers for all of this. I even got some new stuff in the ore miner that needs to be stored, although I am going to have to fiddle with some of this to let it actually go through the system. I think this should be enough. How many items have I got already? I've got 38 of the 41 items. I'm probably missing some of the random terracottas. Is there some way that I can undye them? There's the drying basin, but that's kind of a pain to deal with. Same with water in the smeltery. Maybe I could pulverize them into clay? I don't know. I guess I'm just going to be storing a bunch of every different color of terracotta. So I'm just going to start putting some of these items in, and I'll see where I go from there. Okay, I think that's everything filled out here. Most of the resources should be being taken. I've got 2 free spots. I know there's a purple terracotta. That's going to go in there. There's also a light blue. Did I get cyan? Yes. So just purple and light blue, I guess. And then that's this giant resource wall finished. Now I just need to fiddle with the filters to be able to put this stuff in. Okay, I think I've got this all figured out now. I should have this cleared. I've just had to add an extra input into the enriching factory. And I've got a midway chest that can accept 2 different inputs, each one filtered. And then that goes into the drawer controller. And that should solve the problem. I'm just now waiting for the last of the terracotta to come through so that I can fill out the drawers. And I've got a bit of extra space here to fit any new seeds that I add in. And also, I've gone through and upgraded all of these to have a tier 5 storage upgrade. Right, so that should mean then that as far as the void miners go, I'm done. And this is now when I move on to getting the tier 4 solar arrays, But given that the resource miner isn't actually drawing that much power, it's not terribly necessary. I'm still gonna do it, just to finish off this video. And maybe if I put some speed upgrades in here, I'm gonna need that power. So then let's see what I need for this. It's a bit intimidating, sure, but all of the solar cells are fine. The palladium blocks are fine. The advanced solar generators look complex, but they're not that bad. The energy cell frames are basically just machine frames, and the reinforced cell frame, filling it might be a bit of a pain with aluminum, but again, most of this is just kind of intimidating. I found that out when I made this the last time, when I needed the mob duplicators. But the annoying thing here is going to be this advanced crafting table, because it just needs so much black iron, and luminescence isn't that bad, actually. I can make a ton of that now. And the components also aren't that bad. It's just iron, gold, diamonds, and emerald, then a ton of black iron, and the basic crafting table is untouched. This might not be so bad. It doesn't get difficult until I get to the elite. Okay, so then the first thing to do is get all of this black iron. And the only way to do that is with a ton of invar and a ton of tough alloy. And that should make me about 4 stacks of black iron when this eventually all goes through. Then to just get the rest of this. So if I just make myself, I think, 13 basic components, then I'll make 2 basic catalysts, and then I can turn some of that into the basic crafting table. Then I need 5 advanced components, 5 elite components, and 5 ultimate components to make a catalyst for each of them. Then I need another basic crafting table to actually craft it on, and there's the advanced crafting table. From here, all of the palladium stuff is fairly easy. I think next I may as well do the energy cell frames. So I'm going to need 8 machine frames, and of course I'm missing a lot of stuff. Okay, I've nearly got what I need for this now. I'm just waiting on tiny dry rubber, but I guess in the meantime there's still a couple other things I'm going to need. Like all the stuff to get the reinforced cell frame, and the hardened cell frame as well. Okay, that should be everything I need to make the 2 reinforced cell frames. Have I got enough for the machine frames now? Yes, I do. So then I can make all of these energy cell frames. Then I can turn 2 of them into the hardened cell frames. Then I can turn them into the reinforced cell frames. Then with a bit of aluminum, I can slowly start filling this, and then that's it for all of these cell frames. So, the only thing I should be missing now is the advanced solar generators. I already have 1, so that's going to simplify things, but I still need another 7. And this isn't so bad. A bunch of iron, osmium, and reinforced alloy. I can do that quite easily. Then the solar generators, enriched alloy, basic control circuit, osmium dust, that's all fine. Then the solar panels, a lot of osmium, redstone, enriched alloy, and glass panes, but that's not bad. By all means, I should have that already. What I think is going to be the tricky part here is getting all of these IC2 solar panels, because I need 28 of them? Oof. So that's a lot of glass, and a lot of pulverized coal. That's not quite so bad. But then the generator, that's going to need a lot of iron plates. At least I don't need a basic machine casing. That'd be quite a pain. I just need a lot of iron plates, a bunch of furnaces, and a bunch of batteries. Oh boy. I should be able to do a decent amount of this quite easily. It's just gonna take a while. I just need to make so many furnaces, and turn those into iron furnaces, and then those into generators, then into solar panels, and I don't have enough control circuits. Oh, and then how many of these solar panels am I gonna need? 84? Okay, I've got enough for that. Then I should be able to make... Oh god, each solar generator is a non-stackable object. But I can still make all of the solar generators, then upgrade them to be advanced. Oh no. I'm 2 solar generators short. No, I'm not. I don't know why they didn't autofill. But there's the 8 advanced solar generators, which are the final things I need to add here. So then I'll take these solar array controllers, and I can upgrade them to tier 4. Now I just need to finish off this multi-block, which is comparatively easier. I just need 80 tier 4 structure frames, and then another 64 solar cells. But I'm missing palladium. Fine, I'll just make as many palladium solar cells as I can, and I'll do the rest out of chironite. Oh, and I forgot to account for the fact that now it shares blocks in the middle. So I didn't need 11 of these structure frames. That's fine. But now I can finish off these arrays. Ooh, and they're generating a lot of power now. That is, I think, twice the capacity of the wires? No, almost 3 times. Yeah, just barely less than 3 times what these conduits can transmit. So, I don't know how useful the upgrade was in the end, but it's going to be useful once I move away from the Ender energy conduits. And I'm thinking I might just do it with the draconic energy crystals. I'm not entirely sure how they work, but it's a lot easier for me to get these than a flux network. Maybe not. I can get basic at least. I'm still not entirely sure how these work, but I can probably figure it out. But that might be a thing for next time. I don't know. I'm thinking the last thing I'm going to do here, I have 20 mica. I should be able to do a decent amount with that. How much faster can I make any of these mine? Because it's already mining one thing every 40 ticks, assuming it gets enough power, which it looks like it is. And speed is kind of the only modifier worth anything. Ah, right. I need Lonsday light. But I can do that, because I've got a lot of Wither Ash. So then I can just make a bunch of speed modifiers. I'll start with 2, just to see how that affects things. Okay, with 2, it's halved the duration and almost tripled the power. But I can manage that power. Let's do one more. Ooh, another big jump. I think I can handle one more modifier. Ooh, duration's down to 9, but that is now requiring more power than the cables can transmit. So that is the upper limit. I've also got the same thing on this resource miner, but that is nowhere near the amount of power that the ore miner is taking. So I think I'm going to take one of the speed modifiers out of the ore miner and put it on the resource miner. So now the resource miner is really fast, and the ore miner is still really fast, but with a slightly more manageable amount of power. I kind of want to watch the crate just as all the items come flying in, because that's very fast. Ooh, the ore chest though. Is this... Ah, okay, it just got stuck. Why is it putting cobalt in? I think that needs to be a higher priority. Wait, no, it's these ones now. I hope I can keep up with the ore intake now. I might be running out of chlorine again. Maybe it's not time to mess around with speed mods. One item every 2 seconds is still plenty fast. Anyway, I think that should just about do me for environmental tech stuff. I've now got a resource miner that is going very quickly. I've got massively increased storage with all of this new stuff. Both the miners are now tier 5, meaning that I'm producing every item that can be void mined, except, no, I'm even producing draconium. And I've upgraded the solar panels to produce way more power than I'm gonna need for a while. So this feels like a pretty good standing to be going into Draconic with. I would like to improve how I transfer power, but I'm gonna be doing that with Draconic, so it doesn't really matter. I guess that'll just be the first thing I work towards then. Yeah, Draconic is gonna be a lot of work, and I'll figure out exactly how far I want to go with this on my own, probably between videos, maybe in the next couple, I don't know. But I'm fairly certain that Draconic is going to be my final frontier. There isn't much of a point to going any further. Sure, there's the bragging rights chapter, but all of this stuff is arbitrarily difficult for the sake of being a bullshit challenge and taking a ton of time. It's exactly as the name suggests, it's bragging rights. It's designed to be impractically difficult, just so you can flex that you've done this. And I don't really care about doing it. I mean, look at this. I can't even begin to get into how messed up all of this is. Oh my god. I forgot about the ultimate ingot and the ultimate singularity and all of that stuff. Oh, and infinity ingots. It's just bullshit. That's exactly what it is. And all of these are like that. So, I'm just not going to bother. I'll complete Draconic, but that's as far as I'm going to go. I'm thinking maybe the end goal is the Draconic Reactor? I don't know. I think I'm getting a bit ahead of myself here. I think I'm just going to round this video off by opening a bunch more loot crates, but I didn't get much of any, they don't tend to give that much. I'm pretty sure I've already gotten some of the best stuff, like the Crystal Shulker box. Well then, I don't think I've got anything else to add, so I'm going to call the video here. Bye.